How to pray according to the Bible. Overview of prayer as a central part of the Christian faith. Why understanding biblical principles of prayer is essential for a thriving spiritual life. A brief look at how prayer connects us to God and transforms lives. Definition of prayer from a biblical perspective. Prayer as communication, worship, and relationship with God. Key verses: 1 Thessalonians 5:17, Matthew 6:6. Common misconceptions about prayer and how to avoid them. A detailed exploration of Matthew 6:9-13. Breaking down the elements of the Lord's Prayer. Worship and adoration. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Submission to God's will. Your kingdom come, your will be done. Daily dependence on God. Give us today our daily bread. Seeking forgiveness and forgiving others. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Spiritual protection. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Adoration. Praising God for who He is. Psalm 145:1-3. Confession. Acknowledging sins and seeking forgiveness. 1 John 1:9. Thanksgiving. Expressing gratitude for God's blessings. Philippians 4:6. Supplication. Asking God to meet personal or others' needs. Ephesians 6:18. Examples from the lives of David, Hannah, and Paul. The importance of faith in prayer. James 1:6-7. Praying with humility. Luke 18:9-14. Trusting in God's timing and will. Matthew 7:7-11. Avoiding vain repetitions and insincere motives. Matthew 6:7. Practical tips for creating a daily prayer routine. Finding a quiet space and setting aside time. Using scripture as a foundation for prayer. Psalm 119:105. The role of journaling and gratitude in deepening your prayers. What to do when prayer feels difficult or dry. Addressing doubts, distractions, and discouragement. Understanding spiritual warfare in the context of prayer. Ephesians 6:10-18. Encouragement to persevere in prayer. Luke 18:1-8. Testimonies of answered prayers in Scripture and today. How prayer impacts our lives, relationships, and communities. Aligning your prayers with God's will to experience peace and guidance. Encouragement to pray with boldness and expectation. Hebrews 4:16. The significance of praying together as a community. Matthew 18:20. Biblical examples of intercessory prayer, like Moses and Jesus. Tips for leading prayer groups or participating in corporate prayer. How to pray for family, friends, church, and global concerns. The role of prayer in missions and evangelism. Examples of prayers for healing, peace, and justice. Deepening your relationship with God through consistent communication. How prayer strengthens trust, obedience, and dependence on Him. Encouragement to continually grow in your prayer journey. A call to make prayer a daily, joyful habit. How prayer shapes a Christ-centered life. Final encouragement: never underestimate the power of prayer. Scripture references for prayer, a list of key Bible verses about prayer for easy access. Prayer Journal Template, a guide for documenting prayers, reflections, and answers.